The novel is, like I said, a story. It is not an autobiography. It is not my personal experiences at all. It is the story of one and all. Story of especially those people who cannot speak and those who are speaking but no one is listening to. These communities, these marginalized, segregated, dehumanized communities is what we can call in single term subaltern. This novel is a tribute to them. It's like it's giving them a platform, an agency to speak out. If you want to protest, then protest. If you want to say some good things, then do that. That is the idea, the nutshell behind the novel, to give an agency to those who cannot speak, and if they are speaking, then the platform is not given to them and no one is listening. That is the idea.
Quite interesting. Was Grace in the novel?
Grace is the main...
Can you describe her character for us?
Yes, of course. Grace is, you can see, the dramatic narrator in the novel. She is the main character. It is through her that we find out all these issues that I discussed, all the crime, the issues of love, hate, revenge. And one peculiar thing about Grace, you will be asking, is she a heroine? Is she anti-heroine? Is she a good character or a bad character? That is up to you to decide. She went through a very tragic period in her life and she is trying to fight back. Now the way she fights back, it's up to you to decide. Does she overdo it or does she really do justice to what was happened to her? Is she a good character or a bad character? That is up to the readers. Their interpretations, their own unique interpretations to find out whether she is the hero of the novel or the villain.
Ah, so a lot of suspense.
Yes, that is
right? And a lot of food for thought.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. What was the biggest challenge you faced while writing this novel, and how much time you took to complete your story?
Well, I say when you start writing, the biggest challenge is the first paragraph. Sometimes it is also the first line. When I started writing this novel, I was like, I will start with a bang. You watch Game of Thrones, most of you. It starts with White Walkers, Lord of the Rings. It starts with that story of the, precious ring. So I was like, I am going to do something like this, that in the very first page, there is going to be so much suspense, people are going to get bogged down and they're going to read it. It was such a conscious activity on my part that I was not going to write anything. The blank page began to frighten me. Oh my goodness, here I was to write a novel and I can't even start it. So the idea is, the starting of the novel is always written in the end. I wrote the entire novel, I went back to the start and I rewrote it. I just wrote it for the sake of formality. That the novel has to start, okay? If I'm not going to start it, how am I supposed to finish it? So do not get frightened or intimidated that, hey, I'm not supposed to, and how am I supposed to write? I am motivated. The motivation is there, but the words are not coming. So don't be bogged down. Let the start just be like this, because you are going to redo it once you have finished the novel. That is the biggest
challenge. So it has been rightly said. Write the entire novel and come back to the first line,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Okay. What led you to this novel? I mean, how did you get this idea from,
you see, all of us, we are very sensitive and receptive to whatever happens around us. There are many issues. Like once I read in the news that there was a little girl, when she would hear a loud noise in the house, a girl of 4 to 5 years of age, she would run towards the bathroom and she would hide there and stand on the toilet seat so that any intruder could not see her from underneath. A girl of 4 to 5 years, what is she supposed to be afraid of? Why is she so frightened? It is okay if an adult is frightened, but a girl, what has she seen to be so frightened of? Then there was another accident, an unfortunate accident I came to come across, and I saw the crowd was hovering. They were not there to help. They were there to find the curious details. And only few people were there who actually wanted to help the victim. That person I call the responsible bystander, as we can all say. So the idea behind the novel is to find out a mutual link between all these episodes. In our mind, these episodes register themselves. While I was writing, one by one, like a magnet, all these scattered, apparently disunited episodes, they formed into an organic whole. And when the youth, they see all these activities, what do? Either they fight back, they retaliate, they take it in stride, and some of them, they surrender. that I cannot take this anymore. They commit suicide. They will take up to drinking, drugs, and hate. So what should be done? What is the answer? What is the solution? The novel makes a drop in the ocean to find out the answer.
Looks that you connected the chords so well.
Ma'am, thank you.
How long was the journey of writing this novel?
Ma'am, as I was also doing my PhD side by side with Masters as well, so all in all, it took 5 years to complete the novel and to finally give it a good shape. Because of course, work comes first, writing comes first. Novel was more like a hobby. And finally it is accomplished thanks to the blessings of my parents and thanks to the blessings of the esteemed dignitaries here. Your blessings and your support has always counted.
Who was your source of inspiration? And this is a fiction novel, right? Is there any favorite fiction writer that you love?
Well, yes, there is. The author that I did my research on, Mahashweta Devi. Why I liked her writing style? Because she was a writer and she was a social activist. If she said something, she walked the talk. When she exposed the apathy of the elite, she did not pull any punches to talk about them and to finally meet the people. If she was opposing someone, she would go and meet them and interact them in person, rather than saying it from behind the lines. Secondly, when she would talk about the tribal population, for instance, the indigenous communities of India, she did not just write it from an isolated corner of the room. She went there, stayed with those people, learned about them firsthand, and then talked about it. When she had to write about the low caste, that is what she did. She was a Brahmin herself, but her passion, her zeal to find the truth of the country, to find about the youth, that is what motivated me to write something the way she has. The journalistic strain, investigation that was in her writing, that motivated me a lot.
Do you intend to continue this journey of writing? Or it will remain as a hobby only?
I don't know whether, that depends upon you if it is accepted well.
But I heard somebody, you are a good poet, you do write a lot. Can we have an Urdu couplet from you?
Okay, that's a surprise. Well, I do like to, compose music for Urdu couplets, and this is really a right time because I have one couplet, if you can bear with me. It's Allama Iqbal's सितारों से आगे जहाँ और भी हैं. If I can sing a little, if it is all right.
Yeah, perfectly okay with all of us, right?
You will also be hearing the album, but it's okay that you have given me the chance to give you a little promo. It goes like this. सितारों से आगे जहाँ और भी है अभी इश्क के इम्तिहान और भी है सितारों से आगे जहाँ और भी है शाही है परवाज़ है काम तेरा तेरे आगे कारवां और भी है Thank you.
You're a wonderful singer as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any advice for our budding young students who can turn an author tomorrow?
Well, I'm myself a budding author, so
I know you're too young. You look young and you are actually young.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, for my experiences, I can say that if you like to write, read what you like. There is not a course book that you have to take. No course, because that will only destroy your own originality. Discover your own instincts. What you like to write about. Horror, go for it. Comedy, go for it. Romance, don't think whether it is a trend or not. Because when you go to the publishing houses, they will say, write about romance, because that is the trendsetter. And your originality is taken away. So don't do that. And one more thing. If you are really interested and really want to do something in the writing career, read myths. The Indian myths, Mahabharata, Ramayana. I tell you, these are the touchstone, the benchmark. You want to know about history, you want to know about story, Ramayana and Mahabharata are to go to. I have so many times went back and forth into these myths as if I know them as the back of my hand. So if you're interested in writing, read these myths. Greek myths, Indian myths, Nordic myths. The pages are innumerable. These are the repositories of all the stories and histories that we have today with us. That will be my humble advice.
How do you relate to you within the name of witch to your characters?
Right. The general idea of the witch, when we go back to history, was the idea of witch hunt. There were no witches, but the women, they were prosecuted, they were burnt alive just because they were practicing medicine or they were doing something that was forbidden. So they were prosecuted in the open area and were branded as witches, that these people are harmful to the society, they should be done away with. The idea of the witch then came out to be, what is important, you're not taking notice of that, you're just adding things to it for your own agenda, for your own propaganda. This is the idea behind the novel. The main issue that we have to focus, it is being distracted from just the way the witch was. Here I have not said the witch, I have said the witch, some witch. The people are not even sure whether she is the witch or not. In the title, there is a dubiousness, whether the person you're accusing of being a witch is the witch or not. Is she the criminal or not? Is she the victim or not? That idea is what is being captured by the title.
If you were to give a positive connotation, what would that be?
Yes, there is a very nicely put, sir. There is also a positive connotation. What happens, I will not be a spoiler, if there will be a little of spoiler alert, I don't want to ruin that plot. The character, she willingly tells everybody that yes, I am the witch. Why? So she should be left alone. They were going to prosecute her. So she said, if they are going to say some bad things about me, let it be. At least they will be afraid of me. They will not even come within my vicinity. I will be safe. But that idea is that she herself took this stamp upon herself. Okay, fine. I am the witch. You brand me as such. Now I will be safe. You will not be able to come to me because I have magic. I will curse you, so you better stay away. So that is the positive connotation as well as the negative connotation in the title.
Question for Puri. First of all, I congratulate you for such a thought-provoking sociological factor and making the realistic approach to a social problem to your novel.
Right, thank you, sir.
Second issue that I want to make before you is that Mahaseta Devi has inspired you for making this novel to follow her line of action into your story.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir.
So, writing her PhD thesis also.
So, just following Mahaseta Devi's guidelines, her lifestyle, I also write for the Logical Indian. There you must have seen some of the articles that I have done are on the Gujars and Bakarwals of Jammu and Kashmir. These tribal communities are still in this modern age marginalized. They are not being able to tap into the modernity. So I have went and met these people firsthand and got to know their stories. And in the articles, I have tried to give them a voice. It's just a small step, but I hope it continues further as well. Thank you.
Hello ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask a question. Like, how did you decide upon the title? Was it pre-decided or after writing the novel you decided upon it?
It was after writing the novel. I tried to pick out that what is the most significant aspect. If you start reading the novel, which word will struck out? Every page has this resonance of the witch, some witch, the mystery, the suspense, the magic of this word. First of all, the title was Shadow of the Future, but it didn't strike me as very, interesting or full of suspense. So finally, after a lot of brainstorming, and at the end of the novel, when I went back to it, I decided upon this title.
Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for coming first of all in Jaipuria, and congratulations
Thank you for inviting
for
me. Really an honor.
this novel. Now, as sir you told, the best part is everyone have a story, and the best thing is write your own story. So I just always try to write down my own story. But whenever I will start writing. I write 2 or 3 pages. Then I thought, might be people like it or not. And after this thought, I stopped writing against after 2 days, I again start writing. So I think this is something what is hurting me, that I think I can write, but I'm not writing. So how can I overcome from that?
Okay, you're asking sir already.
Okay, what?
ओके अगर आप स्टोरी लिखना चाहते हो तो सबसे पहले अपने माइंड में ये फिक्स कर लीजिए, यू डोंट वरी व्हाट पीपल थिंक अबाउट यू। ये आइडिया माइंड से निकालो। आप स्टोरी लिख दोगे, यू विल हैव क्रिटिसाइजर्स, वो क्रिटिसाइज करेंगे। मतलब इवन एज वी नो आवर सोसाइटी, दे विल ऑलवेज पुल योर लेग्स, नो मैटर इफ यू आर डूइंग गुड थिंग्स और बैड थिंग्स। सो कीप राइटिंग, डोंट टेल एनीवन, जस्ट राइट योरसेल्फ। व्हाई डू यू थिंक व्हाट पीपल थिंक, जस्ट राइट दैट, कंप्लीट। इफ यू वॉन्ट कंप्लीट दैट, आप जब तक आप उसे पूरा नहीं करोगे आपको खुद को बिलीव नहीं आएगा। तो पूरा करोगे आपको लगेगा हाँ मैंने लिखा है। So don't think that.
I'd just like to add that you are not an island in this world. You are part of this community. So what you are going through, it's not like 1 in million. Millions are going through it. So never feel isolated. Never feel that you have been ostracized. Once you write what is in your mind. Right? It is later in the stages that you start to find out aspects that other people will also identify with. First you have to write your own story, isn't it? And then later you find out how the story can be universal, how the story can be applied to others. Like for instance, I'm having a cup of tea and I'm drinking it. We all do that in the morning, evening tea. So we cannot say that it's just my personal experience. Now while having the cup of tea, what is going on in my mind? What am I thinking about? If I'm a woman, a housewife, what I'm thinking about my children. If I'm a working lady, what I'm thinking about my job. These things are archetypes. Each one of us has these experiences. So don't feel left out that if I'm writing my story, I'm being selfish. No. Continue to write, and remember you will have to go through lots of drafts to finally come to the final form. And writing is like purging your mind for the chaos that you see. And once your mind is free, you will see that yes, everything falls in the place like the jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Don't be bothered about it, right?
Thank you.
I just wanted